What's going on, Wow family? In honor of my 1 year anniversary, I want to do almost like a throwback, right? I want to do two things today. Number one, I want to show you, like, give you a full tour of my vineyard. So I don't think I've ever done that. And then number two, I want to look back at one of my first high performance e-bikes that I got. It's the one, it was the gateway to speed, power, and range when it comes to e-bikes. Now, I just recently did a live. In that live, I talked about where e-bikes have come from, or where we're going based on where we have come from, right? In that video, I talked about how I had a bike that was a 52 volt, 25 amp hour bike that when I got it, and this is back in 2024, I thought it was a dual motor as well. I thought, that was the best thing on the planet, right? And it was back then. So let me introduce you to that bike. If it's one of the bikes that I featured on my channel early on, if you're not familiar with this bike is the Seeker 24. The parent company today is Tutio, but back then it wasn't Tutio. It was whatever that reads. I'm not even going to attempt to read what that is. But this is the bike that caused me to fall in love with high performance e-bikes, right? This bike rides on 24 by 4-inch fat tires. Before this one, we had the Puja, which is 26 by 4. But when the 24 came out, again, I'm a shorter rider. I was like, wow, that's awesome, right? 20 by 4s haven't come out yet, or if they were out, I wasn't familiar with it. But it was also one of the first dual motor bikes that I had that I actually had, right? Now, just like many websites, especially these China websites, the specs on this bike when they first came out was extremely exaggerated, right? On their website, it says the bike goes 44 miles an hour. It comes close, but it doesn't go 44 miles an hour. It goes about 40. And again, with my rider height and weight, I'm 5'7", 155 pounds. It says it goes close to 200 miles. That's definitely a huge exaggeration. It never came close to that. Brand new, I believe I was getting about 50 miles of range if I rode it in class 3 speeds, right? Not go faster than 28 miles an hour. I was getting a little over that. Full suspension, right? It's got the rear suspension, which I'll show you right there, the GMX 200. And then the front suspension. I like one of the things I loved about it was this button right here, which more companies would do that. Very easy to switch on and off between dual motor and single motor. Really love this. Today it's you have to press buttons, double tap, etc. That system is a lot better. What else on the bike? Anyways, great bike. I really love the bike. I still love it. That's why it's still here. And here's the deal, right? I got this in 2024. We're in 2026. It's a testament on how well this bike was built because it still runs really, really well. So here's what we're gonna do today, my beautiful people. Number one, I'm gonna give you a tour of the vineyard. I'm gonna show you the entire vineyard. With the exception of some of the undeveloped areas, right? We're gonna go through the trails. But we're not going to go through all the trails. There's over 100 acres here. So then we'll go through the vineyard, some of the stuff that I built, some of my successes with this properties, and some of my failures with this property. And then keep in mind, this is another thing that's very important, right? I always said this, and I need people to understand, it's very important. Nothing happens overnight. It took us forever to get this property up and running. And suitable to the way I wanted to start renting it as a short-term rental property, right? It took me a long time, much longer than I anticipated. It was there's a lot of stuff that I didn't know. And again, I am one of those people that I don't overanalyze anything, because then you get paralysis by analysis, right? I don't know. It's the saying, close to that. But I just came here and just started working, and then I was figuring things out as I went along. One of the things about South Georgia is that it's not as easy to get stuff, equipment, etc., as it would be if I was back home. But anyway, right now, let's hop on here and let's get started. Let's start doing the tour. Let's see how much range I get in comparison to when I first got the bike. All right, let me go ahead and start Strava. It is hot in South Georgia, people. It is hot, very humid. All right, so just a quick reminder on the bike. I loved it. Has a key ignition, which is cool. This display here, we used to see this display on a lot of bikes. I mean, a lot of bikes. We have the ability to 5-pedal assist, right? It has a battery bar indicator. I wish it had voltage, or at least percentage, because you can never tell with these battery bars. So right now we're going to keep it in PSA 1 or 2, because I'm just going to give you a quick tour. We'll start here since this is where I'm at. I keep some of my toys in here. Right, here's the Puja that I was talking about. The 20, it's got 26 by 4 inch fat tires. Again, this is another one of my dual motor, another high power bike. This one definitely goes 40 miles an hour. It has very good, decent range, and it's still running. I've had this bike since 2024. Same thing with my N-Way. Now, this is a class 3 bike, only goes up to 28 miles an hour. But at the time, this is one of the baddest moped style e-bikes available. Dual battery, one of my first dual battery bikes. Really, really good. My Willoway. Now, this, again, this is a class 2 e-bike. And it was one of my first class 2 e-bikes, but I liked the fact that the chainring was on there. Good pedal bike. And then those two there's my very first e-bike, my Ihora AM100. And then this is the Soho. I don't even think they make this bike anymore. This one, these companies are still around. I don't know if this company's around, but Ihora definitely still around. And then these are still around. Now these are all 2020, actually, in fact, that one's a 2017, these two are 2017 bikes. This is 2022, if I'm not mistaken. 2024, and 2024. Oh, actually, let me leave this open. All right, that is the main house. It's a 5,000 square foot house, 4 bedrooms, 6 bath. If you go to my website, Dream Vacations and Rentals, you can look at the interior of that house. Out here, let me just show you out here. We have our fire pit out there. And then right here, directly in front of me, I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to see that, but this is where we set up our shooting range. Our targets are in there. That's the entrance and or exit to one of the trails. Our property goes all the way back. It's about, I wanna say 400 meters that way and 400 meters in there. As we go around, I'll show you. In fact, we're gonna show you my equipment room. Let's go there first. Oof, I haven't been on this bike in a minute. You hear that? That means I have to do some maintenance on that motor. Yeah, I haven't been on this bike in so long. But we will be testing it out again, and then we'll, let's go in here real quick. So this is my equipment room, my Kubota tractor there, my Bighorn, and then we have my industrial mulcher that's there, because we create our own mulch here. And then here is my equipment room, my weed whacker, long stuff. Mainly the caretaker of the property mainly uses this, but Yeah, so I don't know if you heard that when I use the throttle on it, it was like a grinding noise. That means I need to go in there and lube, put some grease on the gears. You don't hear it now because see that? You're not hearing it? Oh, you know what? That could have been also the front tires. Maybe that was the front tire because it's on dual motor. Here's my little pond with my fountain. Let's go over here. So I want to show you something on this side. This is actually the front of the house that we hardly ever use, except to sit out there. But because we use that side entrance, the brakes on this bike are still very good hydraulic brakes. Okay, so we have a bigger pond here. And last year, somehow we had a family of gators come and decided to make this, call this place home temporarily until we were able to get them out. All right, there's my birdhouse. Let me take this off dual motor since we're gonna be inside here for a second. So this cottage is where my caretaker lives. We actually built this from scratch. We built this from the ground up. It's a one-bedroom. It's a one-bedroom property. It has its own satellite dish for cable there. When we come over here, we have our barn conversion. We converted this barn into living space. Again, if you want to actually see the inside, go to my website, dreamvacationsandrentals.com. So this property is on well, so we don't, well water. We have two wells. One we use for the vineyard, and then the other one we use for the house. Then we're gonna come here. This is one of my failures, right? We had a lot of successes here, but this right here was one of my failures. And I call it a failure because we built the deck, we built everything because we're gonna put the geodome here, and the dome is there, and we haven't put it up. We have not put it up because I need 5 bodies to put that thing up. And then if you look at the deck, when we built that deck, some of the wood apparently wasn't that great, so we have to kind of fix the deck. But I'm a little upset because we never got that geodome up. We're gonna try to get it up this fall. The thing is, like I said, we need 5 people, and it's just tough to get 5 people out here to put that thing up. It can be done with 3, but it's not gonna be that easy to do it with 3. All right, so this is what I call track A. You've probably seen this track before because I featured this on my channel many times, especially when we were building it. And we built it for mountain bikes, e-bikes, and small ATVs and dirt bikes. I just love coming through here. I'll be surprised if we don't see any wildlife like rabbits, deers, snakes even I've seen on these trails, but we'll see if we see anything today. But the interesting part about, so this is the track A, the first one we did, because we have 2 tracks and then we have the trails. And in this track, this was all overgrown, just like this. This whole property was, or this section of the property was all overgrown. It wasn't really being used. And I decided to do these trails, but we didn't have any true designs. I just came in here with a forestry mulcher and my tractor and my bush hog, and just at random, which at the end of the day came out really nice. By feel, we decided to do this trail. Now this trail here is 750 meters long. And then in track 2, or track B. That one is almost a mile long. And we did the same thing with that other one. Now, the other one, we did a little bit more planning than we did with this one. So has a little bit more tighter turns, and we used more space. As you can tell, it's longer. We were able to use more space than we did here, but I'm happy the way it came out, right? More than happy the way these trails came out. All right, let's go over to track B. So there's the vineyards. We have 4 different types of muscadine grapes here. And then I'll take you to the orchard after. And then what you hear rattling, if you can hear it, is actually my bike lock that's in the back of the basket. So this was we divided the tracks because this was all overgrown. And these were, again, my ignorance, right? These had a lot of big trees like that one, this big brush. And I tried to do it with a bush hog, didn't work. It was just way too many trees and stuff. And then we'll come from the backside. But, so I rented a forestry mulcher, that again, it's on my channel, that I almost killed myself with because I never use heavy equipment like that. Oh no, it's not, it is the motor. I just heard that motor grind again. It's not it's the motor, so easy fix. I just have to take the motor out, put some grease on it, and then this bike will be running like new. There's the caretaker still cutting the grass. All right, so this is track B. This one's longer, and you'll see with this one, a lot tighter, a little bit more technical. I'm trying not to lean forward as much because of the camera view, but I apologize if it's not grinding. I'm trying to stay as upright as possible so you can get a better view of it. So again, when we started this project, in my naive mind and my over-ambitious self, I thought I was gonna get this property up and running in 3 months. It took me a year to get everything up and running. And again, mainly because of logistical issues. For example, the cottage, getting all the lumber, getting the electrical stuff. Wasn't as easy as I thought. It took a little bit longer to get that stuff here. My construction crew, I brought them from South Florida. So they would come up here on a Monday, work till Friday, and then head back home. And I did that for a couple of months, which delayed a lot of my projects back home as well. Now, I could have probably contracted some local people, but it's like anything else, man. You work with the people you know and trust, right? And I'm sure there's some great contractors out here, but I know and trust my team, so that's who I relied on. I tell you, I love it out here, though. It takes a special person, though, right, or to actually live here, because you gotta like living in a very rural area. Now, the town, and you'll see, the town is only 15 minutes away, but it's a very small town. There's a Food Lion, a couple of fast food restaurants. They just recently opened a liquor store, but there's not much. They also just recently opened a hospital, but it's a very small town. To get to your nearest Walmart, it's about 30 miles from there. It's not close, people, it's not close. It's a good 45-minute drive. And I could be wrong on the miles, but I know it takes about 45 minutes to get there. It could be more like 15, 20 miles. So you gotta like living in very rural areas, super quiet. I personally love it. If I could, I would live here full time. All right, that was track A. Now we're gonna go into, we're only gonna do one of the trails here. I'm not gonna do them all. So we have 3 separate trails. I was surprised we didn't see any deer or rabbit. Normally you'll see them. But this is one of the trails in the woods. Again, this took forever. And then the other issue that we had here that delayed a lot of stuff was the fact that we had a hurricane come in. Actually, that's one of the entrances. So let's go that way. We had a hurricane come here, so all the work that we did went for naught, because then we had so many trees come down. You still see them, like right here. You see that? We had a lot of trees come down, which delayed our work. Now this one trail is gonna go that way. We're not gonna hit that trail. We're gonna go this way. And we have these trails marked. Right now, we're just doing the yellow trail. That's why we're seeing the yellow signs, which is the shortest trail that I have. Yeah, I gotta get in here, or I gotta get my guys to come in here and cut this again. So this is where the dome is, just to give you a point of reference. The dome is right to my right. Now we're gonna come out on that entrance that I showed you in the beginning. I tell you, the suspension on this bike is really good, especially for this off-road stuff. Yeah, this bike is suited for off-road. If you're a hunter and you can find one of these, I would get one of these. You can still find the Puja, and Puja now comes out with a 24 by 4 inch, just like this one, and they're inexpensive. They're not expensive at all, I think, for the money. Now the Puja, though, doesn't have the suspension that this one has, though. At least the one that I have, the Puja 2 that I have. But this Seeker 24, like I said, when I first got this bike, I was like, holy smokes, this is bad booty. All right, see, we came out where I showed you. This is the back of the property. Now let's go visit the vineyard. And another one of my failures, because we planted, and I don't remember the number, so don't quote me on these numbers, but we planted over 200 something trees, fruit trees. And that was a year ago, a little over a year ago, and we didn't do a good job. Again, this is not what I do for a living. And the people that I use to plant were just laborers, so didn't come out. So again, I'll repeat what I said before. We have 4 different types of muscadine grapes. Before I talk about this, I just want to show you. So we got all those rows of grapes there. Now this section here, these are grapes as well. We planted these last year. They're doing fine. They're starting to grow. In a couple of years, they'll look like that. They'll look just like that one there, but they're looking good. They're not, that wasn't the issue. Oops, the issue, oh, look at that, man. Really need to oil that up. The issue was here. So we started here, we did 1 row. These are all blueberries, and we did a horrible job. They're not taking at all. Then we didn't plant anything here. This is what the gazebo is. We didn't plant anything there because that's where we'll have, and we've had some weddings there. But here again, look at these rows. These are also berries here, blackberries, blueberries, and these 2 rows. And again, they're not taking. Some of these here, there's a mix, like that's a lemon tree. We do have some lemon trees over there. See, none of these are taken. Some of these did take, but they're not really growing well. Very difficult to grow here because we don't have direct water to this section. So I try to get, and you see how high this grows? So the trees are competing with this grass. But yeah, none of this took. It's been a year. Some of the trees did, see those trees? Those are fig trees. Some of them took, but some of them didn't. So that was a big failure of mine because we spent a lot of time planning this, and so far very few of it is taken. Now we do have fruit, right? These are pears. These pears here, if you can see that. Pears, apples, all those are apples. Those took. They didn't take great, but they're at least they're doing okay. All right, so that's my property. Now let's go into town. I gotta do a couple of things, and I want to do a quick range test. So we'll go into Nashville, Georgia. And this bike is perfect for these dirt roads out here. We'll check out the top speed. Once we hit the pavement, we'll see if we can still get close to 40. That's what I used to get. And again, we'll see what the range is. Oh, it's so beautiful out here, so peaceful. All right, guys, let's bump this up to 5. Let's do a speed run. We're at 30, 32, 35, 37, 38, 39. We'll check GPS. GPS display saying we're 36, 37, single motor. It's funny, single motor, actually we're going uphill, that's why. Single motor is same, dual motor, now we're going uphill. So we did lose some speed because, well, let's see if we get some flatter ground. We got to 38 and we used to definitely hit 40. Didn't go faster than 40 though, for sure. All right, now it looks like it's a little flat. Let's see if we can try it again. Yeah, we're at 38, but we're going back uphill now. 38, when you take out the difference between GPS, you're looking at 36. All right, let's see if we keep this now. Pedal assist 4. We're gonna try to stay between 25 and 30 miles an hour and check our range. Now guys, the reason I do that, if this is the first time watching this channel, when I do a range test, I don't wanna go faster than 30 miles an hour because I want to keep it even, whether you have a class 3 e-bike or you have an unlimited e-bike. I want to keep it even. If I go 40 miles an hour to do a range test and you buy a class 3 e-bike, that range test is useless for you, right? I want you to be able to have the option to buy either a bike like this that goes fast, but you can keep it at class 3 speeds, or buy a class 3 e-bike to determine and do a comparison when it comes to range. Because that makes a big difference, right? And here's where the difference is. If you get a high-powered e-bike and you keep it at class 3 speed, the motor isn't working as hard as if you get a class 3 e-bike and keep it at 30, right? So let me say that again so in case it was a little confusing. You get a high-powered e-bike that has the capability of going 40 plus miles an hour. But if you keep it at 30 miles an hour, that motor isn't working as hard as a class 3 e-bike that only goes 28 miles an hour, and you're riding at 28 miles an hour. Make sense? Again, a couple of pluses of the Seeker 24. It's a budget suspension system, but it works really well, right? Especially on these 24 by 4-inch flat tires. This road is very, very bumpy, but I'm not feeling it, right? I'm not feeling those bumps like if I was riding a bike that had poor suspension system. So that's a big plus for this bike. The other big plus for the bike is that it's dual motor, especially for my hunters that need those dual motors, or the torque, right? The acceleration speed, I mean, it gets up to 30 fast, right? It's got really good, decent torque. Now the website, is another thing about the website. And don't quote me on it because it's been 2 years, but I remember when I got it, they were saying this bike had 200 Newton meters of torque. No freaking way, right? No way. 100, yes. 200, no. The other thing is although it has these, it's more like a mountain bike, it's comfortable, right? What's not comfortable is the seat. If you're gonna ride this for a very long time, this is not the seat for you. You're gonna have to change that seat out. We still have the stock seat on it, but definitely not a comfortable seat. It's a Saturday morning here in Nashville and it is quiet. I just love how quiet it is out here. Quiet and peaceful. Now it looks like we're gonna get some, or have the ability to get some range with the bike, right? Like I said, when I first got it, I was easily getting 40 miles an hour if I was riding like I am right now, right? 40 to 50 miles an hour. We'll see if I can still get that today, which means we're gonna be out here for a while. We're gonna be riding for at least an hour and a half, 2 hours. Ooh, look at that spin out. Let's go this way. I was gonna go the other way, but we'll go this way. Now I'm keeping it in dual motor. Let's take a picture of that sign with the bike. All right, right in front of us. Oops. Let me not do that. All right, so this is the courthouse and the Berrien County Administration Office. Let me go through the back here. I did a tour of this town before, but I'll give it to you guys again. This is the old jailhouse right here. It's pretty cool. I wish they would rehab it and make it a museum. Cadillac Breakfast Shop, which is closed. Here's the church. Here is a Rancho Alegre Mexican restaurant, probably the only good restaurant in this little town. Celebrating 25 years, 4th of July. You know what, let's go through that real quick. But it is so quiet out here. My turn. Yeah, there's still have a lot of buildings that are still damaged, haven't been repaired since the hurricane. I think it's been 2 years now, or close to 2 years. There's Food Lion, the only supermarket. Well, we have this, and then we have a dollar supermarket over there. Georgia Department of Human Services is here. Right down the street, we have Morrison hardware store. Spend a lot of time and money there building the cottage and the barn. Believe it or not, the prices here at this hardware store better than Home Depot because we priced them out. I'll go back around. I'll show you the new, I think it's called Cork and Barrel liquor store. Really nice place. Morrison's Hardware and Building Supply. Again, I spend a lot of money on this place. And they treat veterans well. They give you a nice discount if you are a veteran. If you're from this area and by chance you see this video, you guys already know this is your spot. This Red Owl coffee place, brand new, less than a year old. By the time I throw out this video, I'm either going to be right at my 1 year anniversary or past by a little bit, right? By the time this video comes out. But I want to thank everybody that has subscribed. I want to thank the members that purchased the membership. It's been crazy. The success of this channel has been a little crazy for me. Obviously, we're not in the hundreds of thousands of subscribers, but we're definitely much further than I ever thought we would be by the 1 year mark. Let's cruise through these trailers. After buying the Vineyard, one of the things that I've learned is this heavy equipment. It ain't cheap, people. This stuff is expensive. My tractor cost me $35,000. And it's not as big as some of these. And I've never heard of this brand, New Holland, never heard of it. Be interesting to see what the prices are. Yeah, but this heavy equipment isn't cheap. It is pricey. Dollar General, very popular here in the south of Georgia. Very, very popular. You see a Dollar General almost in every corner. It's crazy. Gas is definitely cheaper here than in South Florida. We got gas at $3.54, $3.69, and $3.72 for premium. But $3.54 for regular unleaded, it's about 40 cents cheaper than South Florida. I want to remind you guys about the Florida Loop, Florida Cannonball Loop. Registration is open, my beautiful people. Register. I'm taking 25 people. Here's the Cork and Barrel that I was talking about. Brand new, also less than a year old. Oh, look, chickens. Less than a year old. And it's where I go to get my wine. It's where I go to get my Aperol. Because if you don't know, I don't drink alcohol, but I do drink some Aperols once in a while. And definitely some wine. All right, we're back to where we started when we came in. Let's see where we are in terms of, all right, so we are at 9.13 miles. Now we're gonna leave town and just ride the countryside until we just lost a battery bar. We just lost the first battery bar at 9.3 miles. So we will stay here until we lose a few more battery bars, and then we'll turn back around and head towards the house. Yeah, losing the first battery bar at 9 miles, I'm gonna say we might still hit 40 miles. All right, I'm gonna cut through here. Now there's two ways to get to my property. This is one way, and then the way we came out. We're gonna go back to that entrance, and then we're gonna head, which is Enigma Road. Then we're gonna take that north. And the reason we're gonna do that, oh look, I got all my battery bars back. The reason we're gonna do that is because I can get a better idea, since I don't have voltage or percentage, I can get a better idea on when I start to drop more battery bars and turn around so I don't get stuck out there. I wanna try to make it back here with at least one battery bar. But it's a nice morning, beautiful morning. It's not too hot. It does get really hot here in South Georgia, and it's so humid, especially right after noon. Between noon and 6 p.m., oh my God, it's so hot here. It's not like in South Florida. It could be 90 degrees, but you still get a breeze. You got no breeze here, which is why we're gonna probably get some decent range. Now, this is my neighbor. He's got cattle, and he recently put up this fence because he brought cattle here. So this is the road to my property, but we're gonna take this back out to Enigma Road and then head north from there. All right, so this is Enigma Road. All right, so it's closed off, obviously, but if I take this, I can go straight to my property. This is why I'm trying to buy this lot here. Because if I buy this lot, then I can open this up and get to my property. Because this part of it, I would say about 20 acres on this side isn't mine. All right, this neighbor here had his house for sale. This used to be a vineyard just like mine. He took all the grapes out. I don't see the sign up, so I wonder if he sold. This is the house. If you watched my video, because I did a couple of videos here, I was praying that this guy sells, because he had his house for sale for 1.2 million. It's only 10 acres. I bought my property for 700,000, got 100 acres, and my vineyard is twice the size as his. My house is bigger than his. So if it looks like he sold and whoever bought it took out the grapes, or I don't know what the deal is. I'm going to find out, because I'm praying he sold. If he sold anywhere close to 1 million or above, man, I'm going to be super happy, because I made a lot of money. Now, granted, that's on paper. I know it's not, you know. If he sold for let's say he sold for 1 million, and he's only got 10 acres, I probably can sell conservatively for 1.8. Yeah, about 1.8. So have over 1 million in equity. It's only on paper, because I gotta find somebody to buy it for that price. So anyway, we are down 1 bar. We've gone 13 miles. My butt is already starting to hurt because this seat is not comfortable. I forgot how uncomfortable the seat was. We are on Enigma Road heading north. Beautiful morning. We're gonna ride till we drop down, until we have only 2 battery bars left, and then we will turn around. I just gotta be careful, because as a reminder, right? Your first 2 battery bars, let's say you're at a full charge. When you drop your first 2, that's gonna be your longest range. Once you drop 2 battery bars, it'll start to drop quickly. So you gotta be very careful with that. You can't assume that each battery bar represents a certain mileage, because it doesn't. So we dropped that first battery bar right about 10 miles. So at the 20-mile mark, I anticipate dropping that second battery or less, right? I would say probably we're at 13 miles and we're officially at 4 battery bars because it was jumping up and down, right? So it was on that borderline. So let's just say it dropped at 13 miles. So in 7 miles, instead of 11 or 12, I will drop the next battery bar. Let's see if I'm correct. So by the 20-mile mark, I should have dropped that second battery bar. We will find out, my beautiful people. All right, I just saw it. I mean, jump back up, but I just saw that we dropped a battery bar. It went back up to 4. But we're at 18 miles right now. All right, we just dropped our second battery bar. We're at 18 and a half miles. We're going up a hill, so I don't know if it's voltage drop because we're going up a hill, but it's exactly what I said. All right, I had to stop because there was an issue with the SIM card, but we are at 3 battery bars. And as I was saying, I don't anticipate getting the same range that I got on the first 2 battery bars, right? We're at 20 miles, right now 20.6 miles. So the first battery bar to fully drop to that 4 was about 11 to 12 miles. The second battery bar to drop to 3 was between 9 and 10. This next one, I think it's gonna be more like 5 to 6 miles, and then we gotta turn around. But I'm impressed, and happy with it because it's a two-year-old bike, has 5,756 miles on it. Has a lot of miles, guys. And it's not being stored in ideal conditions, right? I stored in the shed that I showed you in the beginning. In the summer, during the day, that shed goes up to 100 degrees easy. And in the winter, it'll be in the 30s. So, not ideal conditions. Now, it's not like that all the time, obviously, but I can do better in trying to preserve the battery. And right now, the bike only needs a little bit of maintenance, right? I gotta clean the chain, clean the wheel, lube up the motor, because you're getting a little bit of grinding on that motor when it's not warmed up. So it needs grease, but still rides really nice. It has that wobble, right? I mean, it has a little bit of a wobble because that front fork isn't great. Whoa. But it's a good bike. It has been a good bike. I mean, like I said, this bike was the reason why I fell in love with high performance bikes. And it was, and it's interesting because it's a dual motor bike, but it's it's not as crazy as a lot of the dual motor bikes since this one, right? So I have no complaints with the Seeker 24. Very happy with it. Shit, I think we're gonna make it to the next town over. I didn't think we were gonna make it this far. See, we're starting, if we're going uphill, so we're starting to drop. I'm gonna turn around. See, I knew it wasn't gonna take long. We're at 2 battery bars, but I think that's because we're going uphill. But nonetheless, I'm gonna turn around right here. This is a U-Picket farm right here. It's closed right now, but Shun the Grace Farms, country store. I've been here before. I showed you guys this place before. I like it. But it has a U-Picket strawberry field. All right, let's see, it went back up. So we were going uphill, so we're still at 3. But I'm gonna turn around here because we're starting to get that voltage sag, and I don't wanna get caught out here. So let's head back, and let's see if we can make it there with 1 battery bar left. But I'm confident we'll be at least the 30-mile mark. We have 30 miles on the bike with 1 battery bar left. All right, guys, we're about 9 miles from the house. All right, we're at 23 miles. We jump back up to, we're still up between 3 and 2 battery bars. So here's what I'm thinking. I may push this. I may go to pedal assist 5. Actually, no, let me not do that. Let me keep it consistent. I'm debating it, guys. I'm debating to go a little faster because I'm pretty sure I got enough battery to do it. And it'll give you an idea, but But no, you know what? I'll keep it at pedal assist 4, just to keep it consistent. But I'm confident we're gonna make it there with a full battery bar and maybe 2. So, but we'll definitely be over 30 miles, which, like I said, for this bike, for its age, for it having close to 6,000 miles on it, it's not bad. All right, check out this property here. Let me see if I can get you to see. It's oops, slow. It's too slow. Almost busted my butt. But look at this property. The edge of it starts here, right? It goes kind of back. It's got that little work shed over there. This guy really has a beautiful, beautiful property. Nice manicure lawn. It's got, I don't know if that's a house there or shed as well, but I love how he did the trees, the fence. I mean, this property is beautiful. He did a phenomenal job with this property. The house itself is not super big, but it doesn't have to be because you got the land. Look how nice he has this. 3 separate entrances to the house. Don't know if he owns this back here, but because he's got like this little area fenced in, but he may own all this back here as well. But man, that's super nice. That's what I love about out here. You know, you can get yourself a piece of land and really do it super, super nice. Now, you gotta like living in the middle of nowhere, and I personally don't mind it. I don't mind living out here at all. You know, as long as you have your little oasis, you know, like, man, I go to my vineyard and it's like all the stress of the world goes away. I can go out, walk, ride, run, like, look at now, hop on my bike and just ride. Now, granted, I'm riding to really nowhere, but it's just beautiful out here. But I just wanted to give that, I don't know who that guy is, but give him a shout out because he did a great job with his property. I really love what he did to that piece of land. It's what people do to, you know, what they have. You know, let me see if I can express myself without offending people. Oh, look at the donkeys. Without offending people, because the people get easily offended, especially today. Right? I don't care if you have billions or you have no money. There's absolutely no reason to live in filth. And it's sad to go into areas and you walk into, you know, and this is back in my law enforcement days when I was a rookie working the road. I'll go to some of these low-income houses. And I don't even have to go there. When I was growing up, in my neighborhood, you know, one of the things that we took pride in, and we didn't have much, but we took pride in keeping it clean, keeping it, you know, well maintained. There's absolutely no reason to live in filth. And I'll leave it at that. But it's just sad. You know, this is the South, people. It's not a lot of money down here. I'm meaning not a lot of people with money here in the South. But look at that guy, prime example. Has a modest little house, nice little piece of land, but he is doing a phenomenal job of keeping it looking really, really nice. Okay, we are at 28.5 miles. I just saw it dip to 1 battery bar, but we're going uphill. Now it flattened out, so maybe it was just a voltage sag, but it's going down to that 1 battery bar. So 35 miles looks like it's going to be close to the end. We're only 4 miles, I think, 4 miles to the house or less. but we're at 2 battery bars, but it's dipping down whenever we have to climb a hill. That's another thing to keep in mind. You know, riding conditions matter. And here in South Georgia, we don't have mountains, but we do have a lot of hills. This is all rolling hills. Not like in Florida, where it's flat. I would get more range in Florida. See, look, it went down to 1, but we're climbing. We're up. We're going up. Went down to 1 battery bar, but like I said, we're going uphill. In Florida, I'll get more. But if you're in North Georgia mountains, you're gonna get less. So just keep that in mind. Riding conditions matter, and the rider weight matters as well. I'm not that heavy. And it was very, very noticeable during the Dash Challenge when I went out with Turbo and Chris. We were, like, for example, Turbo was on the Mini Go, and I don't think with his body weight, he was able to get that Mini Go past 50 miles an hour. I can get that Mini Go close to 60. I mean, that's a big difference. Now, he weighs, I think, 220, 225 is what he said. You know, he almost, you know, it's got to be about 75 pounds. All right, we hit the 30-mile mark point. Let's see how many miles we got left. Shouldn't be that many more miles. 2.4 miles to get to the house. So we'll be about 32.5 miles to get there. Well, total time that we've been out, we're at 1 battery bar. So hopefully it doesn't die before we get there. Now I'm gonna keep it right here on 4. And let's see. So I was pretty spot on with the bike in terms of what the range was gonna be. And again, for those of you that bought this bike based on my recommendation 2 years ago, or actually not 2 years ago, because I didn't have the channel. A year ago when I put this bike on, if you still have it, and it's doing as well as this one is, put it in the comment. I'd like to know. I'd like to know, because it seems to me like I'm the most blessed guy out here, because I don't really have many major issues with e-bikes. The only one I've had was with the BQ Jupiter X1 Mini. It's the only bike I really had issues with. But if I listen to people in the comments and some other bike reviewers, man, you would think that a lot of these companies have major issues. I just haven't experienced that. So I feel, and I consider myself very, very blessed. And I've always said, you take care of your bike and your bike will take care of you. You have to maintain these bikes, guys. You got to do your proper maintenance on them, because it's like anything else. It's a machine. Machines will break down. Heck, man, people break down. My body, I'm 57 years old, and I've abused my body doing a lot of endurance events throughout my life that I need brand new hips and brand new shoulders, because my arthritis on my hips and shoulders are insane. But if I don't, here's the deal when you have arthritis. Movement is key in general, right? In general health, you gotta move. And if it wasn't for these bikes and the fact that I come out here and I ride miles after miles, keeping my joints lubed up, you know, I will be in much worse condition. And the only real negative I have on the bike is the seat. Oh my God, my butt is killing me. And I've only been on here, it's gonna be 2 hours that I've been riding, hour and 47 minutes. On my other bikes, I can ride for 5-6 hours and my butt doesn't hurt as bad as this. All right, it looks like we're gonna make it. I'm less than a mile from the house. All right. Here's another thing about the bike. I don't know if you noticed. The motors on this bike are pretty quiet. What you hear is not the motor, is the knobby tires. Because this bike, I didn't change the tires. I kept the stock tires on this bike. So that's what you hear, is that the knobby tires. So very quiet, and it's a dual motor bike. Very quiet, I like it. All right, we are back. Let's check this out. Oops. Where's Strava? What the heck? 32.5 miles. Rode for an hour and 50 minutes. I don't know what the average speed is yet because I have to stop. Nice ride, really enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed it as well. I wasn't planning to do a 5,000 mile review, but I just realized this thing has 5,582 miles and it still runs good. Like I said, I just have to do a little bit of maintenance on the motor. But other than that, this bike still rides good. And I gotta remind myself, if I'm gonna take this out for a longer ride again, to change the seat. Seat is not comfortable at all. But super happy. Finished with one battery bar. Don't know what in terms of the percentage of the battery is, but still gives us good range. See how I just did that? I don't know if you saw that. But because it's dual motor, you don't have to lift this bike up. All right, my beautiful people, that's going to be it. Don't forget, ride, hustle, repeat.